One of today's recipes calls for coffee, and the other one calls for fresh mint. We're going to be making two separate drinks, both inspired by St. Patrick's. The first one is a Bailey's Mocha Frappuccino, and the next one is a fresh mint lemonade. We're going to spike the lemonade with some vodka. We're going to support another local distillery here in town called Syntax. So with that said, let's start. The first thing we're going to do is make a simple syrup. So in a medium-sized saucepan, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar and 1 cup of water. You're going to turn your heat to about medium to low heat. All we're trying to do is dissolve the sugar into our water. This is the same method we used for the sparkling blood orange cocktail. This only takes a few minutes and go until all of your sugar has been dissolved. The next thing we're going to do is juice our lemons for our fresh mint lemonade. We're going to use the same method as we did before in the cocktail video and roll out our lemons. This helps break down the membrane inside the lemon, making it a lot easier to juice, especially if you're going to juice by hand. I grossly overestimated how many lemons we needed. You need enough juice to make a half a cup. That only took 2.5 lemons for me. These lemons are about medium to small size, so use your best judgment on how many you need, since lemons come in all shapes and sizes. So go ahead and cut them all in half. Next, grab your juicer of choice and start juicing your lemons. Remember, this recipe only calls for half a cup. Half a cup of lemon juice is enough to make 2 drinks in a pint glass. You can go ahead and juice all of your lemons and make fresh lemonade outside of this recipe. Don't worry so much about the pulp from the lemons. It'll blend up in the blender. You can strain it if you like. I didn't, because I wasn't too worried about it. And if you want your drink to be less tart, in the next step, add more water to dilute it so it's not as tart. If you have a juicer like mine, go ahead and grab a spoon and move that pulp around that was caught. It's holding up a lot of our liquid that we need, and we can push some of that pulp through. It's not a big deal. Now that we got our lemon juice in a liquid holding apparatus, you're going to add your simple syrup. Now would be a great time to measure out your half a cup of lemon juice. Luckily my juicer has a measuring device on it, so I'll go ahead and mix your lemon juice and your simple syrup together. Next we're going to cool it, and I'll tell you why here in a second. Alright, we're going to let our lemonade chill in the fridge for a bit. We want it to be cold when we go to make our drink because we're trying to preserve that bright green color in the mint. If you go to use heat on any vegetable that's green, it'll start to break down the chlorophyll cells that are inside the vegetable, giving you more of a dull green color, but we want it to be bright and fresh. But when I say chlorophyll, more like borophyll, right? Now that our lemon juice is cooling, we're going to pick our mint. We're looking to get a packed 1/4 cup of fresh mint leaves. You do not want any of the stems, so just take your time with this and pick only the leaves. It's fairly simple. All you have to do is pluck the mint leaf away from the stem. You can also slightly pull down on the leaf towards the bottom of the stem and pluck it that way as well. It's really not too hard. If you do this fairly quick, you just want to give it a once over and make sure you didn't get any stems. If you end up with a bunch of mint left over, you can always make mojitos or find another recipe that calls for mint, a savory dish, or even a dessert dish. Alright, now that our lemonade has completely cooled, let's get to making our drink. Now that our lemonade has been chilled, to a blender we're going to add 2 heaping cups of ice. Then pour over our lemon juice mix. Always go ice first, of course, because if you put liquid in there and then throw your ice on top, you're going to end up with a splattered mess. Then we're going to add our local vodka. I did 1 part or 1 ounce. And have your pinky out for the precise, perfect balance. You don't want to spill any of that sweet adult juice. Then throw your lid on and blend that first. We're not going to throw the mint in right away because the little bit of heat that the blender gives off and the ice cubes agitating the mint will bruise the mint and give it a dull color. And like I said before, we're trying to keep that bright, fresh green color. Now that our lemonade is a bit slushy, we'll go ahead and add our 1/4 cup of mint leaves and lightly push them down so they start to vortex down to the blade. Soon enough, you'll start to see your lemonade slushy turn green for St. Patrick's, of course. And then realize you didn't push it down far enough and grab a spoon and push your mint leaves all the way down to the bottom of your blender. Then start blending away until everything is nice and smooth and all of your mint has been blended up into your lemonade slushy. Now that you got your sweet slushy, grab a pint glass and start pouring your mint lemonade into your glass. Then miss a bit and get some on the table and realize you'll never have a job at Jamba Juice. Oh man, my dreams are gone. Then for garnish, grab a lemon segment, throw in your green paper straw, and finish your garnish with some fresh mint leaves. It's perfect for Instagram. Cheers. Alright, let's give our spiked mint lemonade a try. It's a little tart, but that fresh mint takes the edge off. It's nice and minty and fresh in your mouth. It's really good. This would be perfect in the summertime because it's slushy and minty and fresh and bright. I honestly don't like lemonade that much, but when it's fresh made like this, it's so much better than any of that store-bought stuff you could buy, and it has less sugar. Overall, this is a really good drink. Cheers. Before we move on to making our Mocha Frappuccino, we're going to make a homemade whipped cream for garnish. I have a full video on how to make homemade whipped cream, so go check it out so you can garnish your Mocha Frap with this. It's so simple and delicious. It's way better than any of that junk you could buy at the store. All you gotta do is add a few ingredients together, whisk your face off, maybe break a sweat, but it's totally worth it, I promise. Now that we got our whipped cream made for garnish, we're going to start making our Mocha Frap. So in your blender, you're going to add 1 cup of ice cubes, 1/2 cup of milk of your choice, and grab that rogue ice cube and throw it back in there. Then 1/2 cup of fresh, cooled coffee, 1/4 cup of Bailey's Irish cream, and try to get as much of that good stuff out of there as possible. 1 tablespoon of granulated sugar, or you can also use 1 tablespoon of simple syrup now that you know how to make it. Then 2 tablespoons of melted chocolate, or you could use fudge sauce if you would like. Then throw your lid on and start blending away. My blender did come with a lid. I promise, I didn't lose it. When the blender first appeared in my dog's life, he hated it. He hated it so much, he decided to show it who was alpha male in this house. So he decided to chew and destroy the lid. Now when he's in the room and the blender's going, the blender blends on silent because it's that scared of him now. Instead of Chuck Norris, it's more like Bear Norris now. And of course now I have to use a plate. It looks really professional, doesn't it? Oh, and also just blend everything together until it's nice and smooth. You want a nice, smooth texture. You don't want to be chewing on any ice with this drink. Or the other one as well, I guess. Now that your Mocha Frappuccino is nice and smooth, grab a mason jar, because we're trying to look precious for Instagram. Go ahead and fill it all the way to the top. This will make it easier and better to garnish with, and you get more drink. And spill a little bit, because why not? Grab your whipped cream and throw a nice hefty spoonful on top. Next, grab a little piece of chocolate and start to grate some chocolate over. It's a nice little aesthetic look, and nothing says hangover like sugar and alcohol. Grab some of that melted chocolate and drizzle it over the top, again for that aesthetic look, and it adds a little bit more sweetness too. Throw in your paper straw, and cheers. Alright, let's give our Bailey's Mocha Frappuccino a try. I went with the quadruple venti. Let's give it a shot. It's nice and sweet from the sugar and the chocolate, but not too sweet. It's got a nice coffee flavor. It's pretty strong in the Bailey's. These things are smooth and easy to drink, so that could be dangerous. And I like to drink out of stuff with a handle, and it's got a little hole to keep my straw in place. Can't beat it. Alright, that's it for this video. I can't decide which one my favorite drink is. They're both so good, it's so hard to choose. So if you make these drinks, comment down below and tell me which one your favorite one is. I'd love to hear about it. And as always, get out and support your local businesses. It's really important. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and also find me on Instagram at TaylorMakes92. Got a fat bowl of Lucky Charms to eat and a pot of gold to find. Happy St. Patty's Day. We'll see you on the next one. One of today's recipes calls for mint. That's coffee though. Oh god. This thing needs sugar. Ugh. Alright, let's give our Bailey's Mocha Frappuccino a try. I went with a quadruple Frappuccino. Of these drinks is my favorite one. They're both so good on different flavor.